own a home or have plans to in the future? Or are you upside down in your mortgage and need help? Tune in right now to the Call Toni Real Estate Radio Show with Toni Patillo and her co-host Carla Dennis. This is where you come to learn about buying real estate. Here's Toni.
Hello, Los Angelinos. I'm your host, Toni Patillo, and you're listening to Call Toni Real Estate Radio here on KEIB AM 1150, The Patriot. April is our guest for today's show. She's the marketing director for LaRocca Inspections. Buying a home is one of the most substantial investments you'll ever make. At LaRocca Inspections, their goal is to ensure that clients fully understand what they're buying, and they do this by identifying defects that would significantly affect the property and therefore may affect your buying decisions. So, April, welcome back.
Thank you.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the impact of earthquakes on homes.
Yeah, well, you live in California, so you've probably noticed that we've had a few lately.
Yeah.
Some of them, I mean, we have earthquakes every day.
Yeah.
Some of them we don't feel at all. I don't think I have the detector for earthquakes because they happen and I sleep right through them, or someone posts on Facebook and I think, really? But actually, according to the California Earthquake Authority, the chance of having one or more magnitude 6.7 quakes in California in the next 30 years is 99.7%. So we're talking about large quakes, and anyone who's lived here long enough knows that we do have large quakes intermittently every 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So, and you'll hear the big ones coming soon because probably the likelihood is that we're going to have another big one soon. So when these earthquakes happen, in fact, when LaRocca Inspections really became a big deal, when the company's big growth happened, was right after the 1994 earthquake.
Yep.
And one of the things we did at the time was we did post-earthquake evaluation inspections. And so that's something that I'm putting out there again because, you know, we know it's going to come, it's going to happen, and we don't know, we all want to feel safe in our homes. We don't know the damage that's done to our homes after these quakes. And honestly, even after these small quakes.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just tell you this now. I was going to save it for a little later probably, but sewer lines are one of the major things that I think people don't even think about when it comes to their homes in earthquakes. And even these small quakes we have, when we have these 3-point-something, 4-point-something, your sewer line is under the ground.
Yeah.
It's usually made out of clay and it can crack. And we don't always realize that it's cracked until it starts manifesting itself in our home, meaning all of a sudden our sewer system is backing up into our toilet or our shower. But that doesn't mean that you have a safe situation going on. You could be creating a sinkhole, you know, because there's sewage seeping into your yard, which is also just kind of gross. And also chimneys as well. I mean, that's something we do inspections for as well with cameras. We're still finding chimneys damaged from the 1994 Northridge quake today because people didn't have those chimneys inspected, or they lived in that home, or they don't use it frequently. But that can be a fire hazard, and it can also be a structural hazard. Those chimneys can fall over, they can harm people. So it is something to think about when you own a home, when you buy a home, or if you're a realtor representing people who are purchasing homes. Post-earthquake evaluation is after the earthquake, basically the inspector will come evaluate your home, examine the home for immediate hazards. So we want to check, are there any gas leaks? Is the water heater properly braced? We've seen water heaters, you know, explode. Is there electrical damage? Is there structural damage? Is the structural stability okay? How's the foundation? So it's really just on an immediate basis. Or is there anything you need to know about that's hazardous to your home? And that way you can sort of plan, you know, well, either to get out of your home, fix certain things, etc.
Right.
You can find a lot about preparing for an earthquake on the internet, but having it inspected is a great idea if you're concerned about the property, because a lot of us just don't know. We don't know a lot about our property, and the inspector can point out where your systems are, show you how to operate them, tell you if your foundation is properly braced, things like that. Underground, what if the earthquake hits right now and this thing comes crashing? I was a young child when the 94 quake happened, and I remember it very well. I was living in Altadena, and I mean, our entire home, which was an old home, literally shook back. I would purchase the buyer a good home warranty policy
right.
as a closing gift. And
That's
I would
right.
say, here's something. It's just a little extra coverage.
Yeah.
And then on the buyer's side, if you're buying a property like this, just remember that it looks beautiful.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that it's in perfect condition. That doesn't mean that the work that was done on the property has been permitted properly.
That's right.
It doesn't mean that the people who did the work on the property were properly licensed individuals to do the work that they're doing. So take precaution when you're purchasing that property.
We want to remind you that Call Tony Real Estate Radio airs every Saturday at 2 p.m. on The Patriot here at AM 1150, where we are committed to bringing you tools for positive change. If you tuned in late and you'd like to go back and listen to the full show, please go to calltony.com and click on Listen Now. You can always call us at our off-air number at 888-309-9797. That's 888-309-9797. We want to thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. And as always, we want you to have a magical weekend.